All right, we are leaving Hancock. It's tough leaving the comforts of a hotel this morning. We're leaving Hancock and headed towards Pigman's Ferry is where we're going to try and sleep tonight. It's just a little campsite on the side of the river, hopefully with no pig man there. We're going to pass through Paw Paw Tunnel today, which will be all dark. It's like an unlit tunnel that's just along the canal. I don't think we've told you anything about the canal history, but it was built in like the 1800s as a way to put like a canal boat, a boat without a motor. It's like a barge, and it would carry goods from DC, from the interior or from the exterior of the country towards Cumberland, so that it could then be picked up and carried maybe by rail to other parts of the country further inland. So the whole series of levees was created to raise the water and carry the ships. And what we are pedaling on is the mule trail. It's the mules that pulled the barge. So of course it's been redone and surfaced in certain areas, but not others. So that's what we're on. When we get through the Paw Paw tunnel area, we'll check in again. Old ruins along the trailhead here. This is probably some type of power plant. There's a sign over there. I'm not reading it though. Down here in the valley. We did a little bit of work on Sarah's bike yesterday, and her bike rack was bouncing all around yesterday. It turns out that a bunch of the bolts had come loose. So we were trying to fight that all day long, but I didn't have the tools that would reach far enough into the, recessed place for those screws. So I had to borrow something from the bike shop, and they had no problem with letting me borrow tools and go out in the parking lot and work on it. So C&O Bicycle in Hancock is super friendly. They're really helpful to us. Actually, the Motel 8 last night was, or whatever it's called, it was it? Super 8. It looked a little sketchy, but it was good. They let us bring the bikes right into the room, and with all the COVID stuff going on, they let us still do they still did like a modified version of breakfast. It's good enough for us, but we didn't have very high expectations either. So it was a lot better than camping. I don't know if I would have been happy if I was a motorist and going there for a stop along the highway, but it's good for us and cheap. Not sure what this is, some kind of little break spot. It's like a breezy 70 degrees here.
So pretty.
So pretty. You can't see them, but there's mountains in the background. We're squarely in the mountains, I think now. Like, they're all around us, but it's just like beautiful skies, blue with clouds, and
It was like fall down south.
Yep. Yeah, not at all like June, like we're used to in North Carolina. So beautiful day. We should be getting closer and closer to Paw Paw Tunnel. We're getting down into this valley. Everything's getting close and narrowed in. So they had to bring the canal boats through here. So I had to dredge it out and cut it out. Hop off here. How y'all doing?
Oh, good day.
You want to go up top? You want to go up top? Are you sure? On top of the Paw Paw Tunnel. Can't imagine how they would have done all this in the 1800s. Beautiful out here though. I'm gonna walk through the tunnel now. It's a little sketchy. Sketchy riding. Everything is bumpy and rutted and rocky. When you're on your bike, you're over the rail. That's it. Sarah is a trooper for coming all the way through this tunnel in the dark. We are, it's a half mile we've been walking now through the dark tunnel. You can just see the doorway, that little square at the very end. The light at the end of the tunnel, literally. Sarah did really well. Dripping water everywhere in here. Oh, bike's barely fit. Lunchtime, right after Paw Paw Tunnel, on this bench. We are, Sarah's having some yellowfin tuna pouch with some sandwich thins. Put it on the sandwich thins. I'm having this premium, it's not premium, white chicken with 0 flavor, but 13 grams of protein.
This is premium.
We both got some golden cheeses. Both got some like nabs and some lemon crackers. Cool rock features on the side of the trail here. Lots of wildflowers. 4 miles to camp. Alright, found a little campsite. Just waiting to bring the bikes down because it's a pretty big hill. The campsite's huge. It goes on forever and ever. The bikes are way up there, up the hill. Just walked down to see how it was. I think it's where we're gonna stay for the night. We're about 16 miles from Cumberland. We could ride it, but then we'd have to buy a hotel. And we're gonna stay there tomorrow night, so we don't need 2 nights there. We want to spend a lot of time there, so yeah, so we will we'll camp here and then ride there in the morning and have breakfast and stuff like that, or lunch and dinner before we check into the hotel and rest up for the big climb the next day.
This would be 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 50.
So 50 miles a day. We started at
Hancock.
We started at Hancock and went all the way up all those zigzaggies all the way up to Iron Mountain. Actually, that's a lie. We thought we were going to stop at Pigman's Ferry.
It was buggy and hot.
Yeah, and it was a pretty campsite, but too big, like too overgrown and stuff. So then went to Spring Gap, which you have to pay for, but we couldn't get a hold of the people. We really wanted to stay there, I'm not gonna lie. Couldn't get a hold of people to get a place to stay there. So then we moved up to Iron Mountain.
Irons Mountain.
Yep, and tomorrow is Cumberland. Less than 10 miles. Alright, getting camp set up here. And got the tent up. Looks a little better set up today. And Sarah's getting it outfitted. We're picking up a bunch of trash that's here. And either burn it or get it out of here. And then, yeah, head out tomorrow morning.
Construction of the canal was absurdly difficult, blasting holes through mountains, building dams with stick and stone, aqueducts to carry rivers over other rivers. Just look how each of the hand-cut stones had to be fit together to form just one of the 74 locks. As trains became more popular, they would eventually take over the canal's commerce. These same rail lines would later startle awake 2 sleeping North Carolinians.